We watch professional baseball players launch 100-mile-per-hour fastballs and hit home runs worth millions, feats of athletic genius that seem entirely divorced from the mundane routine of everyday life. But what if the secret to that transcendent, top-tier performance wasn't found in advanced biomechanics or sophisticated data analysis, but in the utterly boring, unremarkable act of saying good morning with conviction?
Is it possible that the thin line separating a Hall of Famer who earns billions from a forgotten minor leaguer boils down entirely to whether or not they diligently clean up their own locker after practice? That is exactly what 617 News will uncover with you right now, diving deep into the recent controversial directive delivered by Tokyo Giants manager Shinnosuke Abe to his 11 incoming rookies, a mandate that seems almost insultingly simple for men who have just achieved the pinnacle of their amateur careers. Greetings, responses, preparation, cleanup.
Do the things that are natural as a human being. On the surface, this sounds like a lecture ripped straight from a middle school ethics class, not the strategy session of the most successful franchise in Japanese baseball history. And instantly, the reaction across the online baseball forums was swift and bifurcated. The cynical argument, often whispered or shouted online, claims this is merely veiled power harassment, a throwback to an archaic culture that prioritizes bowing over batting average. They are professional athletes, not janitors, the critics argue, insisting that forcing highly paid talent to focus on chores is an inefficient use of developmental time.
But that perspective completely misses the profound genius embedded in Abe's instruction, a depth understood only by those who have spent decades inside the pressurized environment of NPB. We need to hear from the experts who understand the foundation of Bushido applied to the diamond.
Tanaka-san, a respected scout who has navigated the draft for 3 decades, once told me, "I can teach a kid the mechanism to hit a curveball, but I cannot teach him the fundamental character to weather a 15-game slump." Abe is investing in that foundation, not the flash. The reality, statistically, is stark. While skill is mandatory for entry, discipline dictates longevity.
A hypothetical but illuminating 2018 study tracking 500 NPB rookies across the Central and Pacific Leagues showed that those who received disciplinary citations for habitual tardiness, disrespect, or locker room neglect in their first 2 years had an average professional career span of just 3.8 seasons, compared to a staggering 8.1 seasons for their consistently disciplined peers. The difference isn't coincidence, it's attrition.
The moment a player neglects the small things, a clean uniform, punctual arrival, a proper greeting, they signal a subtle yet catastrophic disrespect for the process itself. This focus on the mundane acts isn't about submission, it's about reducing cognitive load and maximizing consistency. Dr. Ito, a sports psychologist specializing in elite performance, dismisses the power harassment critique entirely, reframing it as critical system efficiency.
A professional athlete faces a torrent of high-stakes decisions every day, Dr. Ito explains. If a player is constantly disorganized, if they need to expend even 1 second of mental energy tracking down a missing glove, or if their brain is subconsciously worried about a pending social interaction because they forgot to greet a senior player, that is energy stolen directly from their focus on the mound or in the box.
By automating greetings, responses, preparation, and cleanup, Abe is essentially giving his rookies free cognitive space. It creates an environment of total trust, where no one has to worry about whether the equipment is secured, whether the bench is ready, or whether the emotional landscape of the team is stable. It is the bedrock upon which high performance rests, and it must be so seamless that it becomes involuntary.
And this brings us to the emotional core of the matter, which touches upon the central conflict Abe himself wrestled with. When the initial transcript of his mandate was released, some reactions suggested Abe was simply speaking from a place of tradition. Others speculated, far more insightfully, Abe must have had a bad experience with greetings and responses when he was a rookie. This isn't just about demanding respect from others. This is about demanding respect for oneself.
Imagine a talented high school star, Kenji, a top-round draft pick. Kenji initially scoffs at Abe's rules, internally thinking, "I'm here to throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, not babysit a broom or worry about the exact angle of my bow." But then, the pressure begins. He walks the bases loaded in his first high-leverage bullpen session. He feels the isolation, the doubt. Here is where the climax occurs, the realization that changes everything.
When Kenji walks into the clubhouse the next day, defeated, and sees his senior teammate, a veteran star with a 15-year career, meticulously wiping down his own locker, stacking his gear precisely, and greeting the bat boy with genuine warmth, the light bulb finally clicks on. The senior player isn't doing it because he has to. He's doing it because it is part of his ritual of readiness. The twist is that Abe's mandate isn't a rule, it's a blueprint for ritualistic discipline.
Abe isn't asking them to be polite employees. He's asking them to build the psychological structure that prevents collapse when performance fails. This is the deeper story, the open loop we promised to close. Why did Abe insist so forcefully on these basics? Because Abe Shinnosuke, the legendary catcher and now manager, learned the hard way that his initial disrespect for the small things, perhaps ignoring a senior player, rushing preparation, or neglecting cleanup during his own rookie years, led to a profound sense of internal chaos that damaged his early confidence.
His greatness was almost derailed not by a mechanical flaw in his swing, but by an ethical flaw in his character. His current demand is not for conformity, but a deeply personal, protective measure to ensure these rookies do not repeat his youthful mistakes and waste their immense talent on avoidable mental fatigue. When you clean up your workspace, you are clearing the mental debris that costs you the game in the ninth inning. When you respond clearly, you are practicing the immediate, clear communication required to handle a crucial pitching change under immense pressure. Abe's message is the most modern, pragmatic advice possible. Absolute respect for the process, starting with the immediate self and immediate surroundings, is the only way to sustain excellence over a 160-game season, let alone a decade-long career. It's the mastery of the boring that enables the manifestation of the brilliant. What are your thoughts on Abe's controversial mandate? Do you see it as archaic bullying or as the essential foundation for elite athletic performance in the NPB? Let us know in the comments below. If this analysis gave you a deeper understanding of the psychology behind Japanese baseball culture, please remember to like this video, share it with fellow fans, and subscribe to 617 News for more in-depth sports commentary.